Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's easy level puzzle. And take that easiness with a grain of salt because it's considered easy by the people on the Logic Masters Germany forum, and there's a lot of really smart people there. Today's puzzle is called Why Numerals Level 2 by Berger Mason, and here are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, which means fill every row, column, and box with the digits 1 through 9 without repeats. Digits separated by a y sum to 15. Digits separated by an x sum to 10. And digits separated by a v sum to 5. So for example, if this were, say, a 9, this would have to be 6 because these two digits have to add up to 15. If this digit was, say, a 7, this would have to be a 3 because these two digits have to add up to 10. And as an example, if this were 2, this would have to be a 3 because those two digits add up to 5. And adjacent digits on green lines must differ by at least 5. So these are German whisper lines. And this is specifically the German whisper rule set. So if this were a 3, as an example, you would only have an 8 or a 9 next to it, adjacent to it, because those are the only digits that are 5 away from 3. And those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay, so on a German whisper line, the way I'm going to attack this is I'm going to color some low and color some high. On a German whisper line, you will always alternate between low digits, which are 1 through 4, and high digits, which are 6 through 9. Because if you take the low digit, which is 1 through 4, and you take the lowest one, which is 1, you add 5 to it, the digits that can be next to the lowest digit is 6 through 9. So therefore, you'll always have a high next to a 1 through 4. And if you have a 6 through 9, you take the highest digit, which is a 9, and you subtract 5 from it. That means the digits next to it could be 4 or lower. So it will always be a digit next to a 6 through 9 will always be next to a 1 through 4. So always alternate low, high, low, high. So in this, we see the V. Any V's have to be lows, right? Because they add up to 5. And the only digits that can do that are 1 through 4. So these are low, which means the ones next to them have to be highs. Anything that's a Y, basically, how do you say it? That are adjacent to a Y have to be highs because the only digits that can add up to 15 are 6 and above, right? 6, 9, 7, and 8. Those are the only possibilities. So these both have to be high. These are both high. This is both high. This must be low because it's next, and then this must be high because it's next to a high. It alternates between high, low, high. This has to be low. Again, the V has to be next to a low. And this has to be high. So these digits are both low because they're next to a high digit. So that's what I'm coloring those. Also, 5 can never be on a German whisper line, right? Because it will always be 5 is not 5 away from. If you subtract 5 from 5, you get 0 and below, which is not a normal Sudoku digit. If you add 5 to 5, you get 10 or above, which are not digits. So where's the 5 in box 7? It has to be one of these two. Where's the 5 in box 4? It has to be one of those two. And because of that, we know that the 5 in box 1 has to be one of these two. Similarly, in box 2, where's the 5? It has to be one of those two, which eliminates 5 there. So this must be a 5 here. Where is the 5 in box 5? Well, 5 can never add up with another normal digit to add up to 5. So this can't be 5. And these can't be 5 because of German whisper lines, so this must be a 5. This has to be a low because it's next to a high. And now we can also color. We'll start by trying to color various things. Okay. So we know one of these two has to be a high because they're two adjacent digits on a German whispered line. And one of these two must be a high because those are both also high digits on a German, well, adjacent digits on a German whispered line. So the rest, so we now have 4 highs in these 6 cells. So therefore there cannot be another high in the column. So all the rest must be low. So this must be low, this must be low. This low means this has to be a high, which makes this a low, which makes this a high. Because again, it alternates between low and high. And therefore this is high. Now, what else do we have? These two must be the same set, right? Because they're next to the same cell. And so it will alternate between one set to the other set back to the same set. So these are the same set. And if they were both low, you would have 5 lows in column 4. So that's not allowed. Therefore, these must both be high. So since these are both high, this has to be a low, which forces this to be high. Similarly, in row 7, these two have to be the same set, right? Because they're next to the same adjacent digit. So, and one of these two has to be a high because they're adjacent digits on a German whisper line. So if these were both high, the problem is you would have 5 highs in row 7, which is not allowed. So these have to be both lows. So these are both lows, which means these are high because they're adjacent to lows. This has to be a low because it's adjacent to a high, which makes this a high. Okay. So now we have 2 lows here. We have a low and a high here. Okay, on here, these alternate between lows and highs. So these 3 are in the same set. If they were all highs, there would be 5 highs in column 2, which is not allowed. And the reason why you can't have 5 highs or 5 lows is because you only have the digits 1 through 4 in a low and 6 through 9 in a high. And those are only 4 digits. So therefore, you can't fill 5 cells with 4 digits. So therefore, these alternating sets, this one that's 3 has to be low, because otherwise you would have 5 highs in that column. So these are low, which force this to be high, because they're next to lows. This has to be a high, because it's next to a low. This must be a low, because it's next to a high. And the last remaining digit in column 2 is a low. So this is a low, because we have 4 highs already there. One of these is a high, and one of these is 5. Okay. One of these is high, one of these is low. We don't know the difference between those. We have one high here and one low here. So this one is 5 or low. This one is 5 or high. So there's only one low here and there's 2 highs. We have 3 lows here in row 7, which eliminates low, and one of these has to be a low because they're adjacent digits on the German whisper line. Therefore, the rest of row 7 has to be either high or 5. I'm not sure which. What else do we have? Okay, let's start filling in some of these German whispered lines, right? This is next to 3 unique digits on a German whispered line, and it's a high, so it must be either 8 or 9. This is next to 2 unique digits on a German whisper line, so it has to be 7, 8, or 9. And this is also next to 2 unique digits on a German whisper line, so this is also 7, 8, or 9, which means that the last high in column 2 has to be a 6. Therefore, this is a 6, and 6 can only be next to 1 on a German whisper line, so this is 1. Therefore, these are 2, 3, and 4 here. 4 has to be either one of these two or this one. So that means either this is 9 or this is 9. So this can never be 9. Let's see. This is next to 3 unique digits on a German whisper line, and it's low, so it must be 1 or 2. What else do we have? This is next to 2 unique digits on a German whisper line, so it's 1, 2, or 3, which makes this 2, 3, or 4. This is next to 2 unique digits on a German whisper line, so this is also 1, 2, or 3. This is next to 2 unique digits on a German whisper line, so this has to be 1, 2, or 3 also. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 triplet. This must be 2, 3, or 4. This has to be 7, 8, or 9. And this is 1 through 4 also. But these two add up to 5. So if this were 1, this would have to be a 4, which is not allowed. So this can't be 1 either. So one of these is a 4. So if this is 1, this would have to be 4, and this would be 9, and that works. If this is 3, this would be 7, that would be 2. Well, one of these two must be next to at least a 3, right? Because this can't be 1, and this can't be 1. They have to be at minimum 2 and 3, which forces this not to be a 7, which means this can't be 3. Therefore, this can't be 2. So this is 1 or 2, this is 8 or 9. This has to be 6 or 7. If this is 1, this becomes 9. This is 6. That works. If this is 2, this is 8. This is 7. That works also. This is in between 2 unique digits, so it has to be 7, 8, or 9. And these two add up to 15 because these two add up to 15. So this is 6, 7, or 8. Okay. So these two add up to 10. These two add up to 10. Okay, so if this were a 3, then this would have to be 2, which would force this to be 1 and this to be 4. Well, okay, this can't be 3 because this has to be next to an 8 and a 9 on the German whisper line, and they both see this cell, which would eliminate all possibilities for that cell. So this cannot be 3, which means this can't be 2. So this is 1 or 2. Okay. This digit sees 2 unique digits on a German whisper line, so it's 1, 2, or 3. This sees 2 unique digits on a German whisper line, so it's 7, 8, or 9. This could be 1 through 4. This sees 3 unique digits on a German whisper line, so this has to be 1 or 2. And this could be 2, 3, or 4, because it can't be 1. This has to be 1 with something. We're not sure which, though. This sees 2 unique digits on the German whisper line, so it has to be at least 1, 2, or at most 1, 2, or 3. This can be either 6, 9, or 7, 8, but this can't be 6 because it sees... well, actually, it could be 6. Because it could see... They could both be unique. That could be 1 and 1. This is 6 through 9 also. These are 6 through 9. This is next to 2 unique digits. Well, we already have that. So this is okay. So this can't be 3. Now we know we have a 1 2 1 2 pair in row 5, which eliminates 1 and 2 from the rest of the row. So this must be a 3, which forces this to be 8 or 9 and this to be 8 or 9. So this cannot be 3. It has to be a 2 to be to add up to 5 with it. So this is 8 or 9. This is 2. This cannot be 2 then. This has to be 1, 3, or 4. This could be 1 through 4 also. Six through 9, 6 through 9. Okay, so this can't be 6. So the remaining digits here in box 7 or 6 has to be 1, 4, 5, and 7. This can't be 5. This can't be 1. This cannot be 1, 2, 3, 8, or 9. So the remaining digits can be 4, 5, 6, and 7. This can't be 5 because it's next to it's on a German whisper line. This could be 4 or 5 because this has to be low or 5. And this could be 1 through 5. So if this is 4, this becomes a 9. If this is 6 or 7, this could be 1 or 2. Okay. This could be 6. Don't know how I'm missing that. This could be 6. This is 6, 7, 8, or 9. This is only next to 2, 3, or 4, so this cannot be, and, well, this is 6, so this is 7, 8, 9. These are 5, 7, 8, 9. 9 is one of these two. Okay, what else do we have here? This is 1 through 4. This is 1 through 4. This could be anything, unfortunately. So 1 in row 7 has to be one of these two cells, because that's the only low possible now. Therefore, it cannot be in column 7 in box 9, right? Because one of these has to be a 1. These can't be 1 in column 7. So where's the 1 remaining? It has to be here. So this is a 1, which means these can't be 1. So since this can't be 1, this can no longer be 6 because 6 can only be next to a 1 on the German whisper line. Therefore, this can't be 9. If this is 6 and 9, this can never be 3, right? And if this is 7 and 8, it also can't be 3 because 3 would have to be next to both 7 and 8, and it can't be next to a 7. So this has to be 1 or 2. What else do we have? If this is a low, it has to be 3 or 4 because we have a 1 2 1 2 pair there already. If it's a high, though, it could be any of them. So 6 through 9 works. This has to be 6 through 9. 4 and 5 both have to be in these sets, and this has to be 4, 5 with 6 or 7. This can't be 4 because we have a 4 there. Hmm. Where can the 9 be in row 6? Can't be here because we have an 8, 9, 8, 9 pair. Can't be here because either this is 9 or this is 9. And this could never be 9. If this is 9, that would have to be 6, which is not allowed. And it can only be one of these two cells. Well, because of that. So since it's one of these two cells, that means there cannot be a 9 in the rest of the box. So this can never be 9, which means this has to be a low, which forces this to be high, and also forces this to be high, so this can't be high. This is now 3, 4, 5, and this is 3, 4, 5. So this is blue or pink, and this is blue or pink. This can't be 4 anymore, so it's 6 or 7. One of these is 9. Huh. This is high. This is high. So these alternate. So if this is an A, this has to be B, which makes this an A, and therefore this is B. Since this is an A, that would force this to be B. B then has to be one of these two. A has to be one of these three. Also, B has to be one of these three. Right, so this can't be a 1 now. And we can't have a 1-2 pair here because this has to be 1 or 2. Sorry, we have a 1-2, 1-2 pair here, which eliminates 1 and 2 from the rest of the row. This can't be 1 or 2 because we have a 1-2, 1-2 pair in box 4. So that can't be, this is 3 or 4. Well, 3 or 4 cannot be next to 7, so this can't be 7. This is 8 or 9, which makes this 3 or 4. We have a 3, 4, 3, 4 pair now, which eliminates 3 and 4 from the rest of the row, so this can't be 4. We have 6 is either one of these two, and 6 is either one of those two, which means eliminates 6 from the rest of the rows in row 5 and row 6. So this can't be 6. We now have a 1, 7, 1, 7 pair in box 7, or box 6, which eliminates 1 and 7 from the rest of the box. So this can't be 7. Okay. Huh. So this would be the corresponding A high digit. Therefore, this would be the corresponding B high digit. This can't be 7 because of this. And since this can't be 7, this can't be 8 because, again, these two must add up to 15. Therefore, where is the 7 in box 5? It has to be one of these two cells, which eliminates 7 from the rest of the column. This can't be 7 and this can't be 7. This can't be 7. This can't be 4 because it's not next to a 9. Mm. This is a 3, 4 that corresponds to the A12. So this has to be the B3, 4, which forces this to be the A3, 4 here. Okay, so if A is 1, that means this has to be 4, right? And therefore this would be 9. If A is 2, that would mean this is 2 and this is 3. The 2 would have to be next to an 8 because it cannot be next to a 6. And then therefore this would be 8, which would force this to be 9 either way. So this is 9 either way, which means this can't be 9. This can't be 9. This has to be an 8. 8 can only be next to 2 and 3 out of 2, 3, and 4. So this can't be 4 in these cells, so this must be a 4. Which means this can't be 4. One of these two digits must be a 3 because of those are the only places in that column. Therefore, this can't be a 3. Hmm. So these must be then the B set. And it has to be 2 and 3 because 1 and 4 is not possible because the 1 then has to be here. So this is 1, which makes this a 1, which makes that 4. Therefore, this is 2, this is 3, which makes that a 4. This is 2. That makes this a 5 because it can no longer be 4. So this can't be 5 or 4. This must be a 3, which makes this not pink. This can't be pink. This is 4, which means neither of these are 4. The 1 has to be next to a 6 because the 2 has to be next to a 7. So this is 7, this is 6. That 6 makes this an 8. This 8 makes that a 7. Therefore, this must be 1, which makes, because that 3 cannot be next to a 7, so this must be a 3. This has to be 2. This can't be 1, so this is 2. 2 cannot be next to a 6 and a 9, so this has to be 7 and 8. So these can't be 7 or 8, which forces this to be a 5-9 pair, which eliminates 5 and 9 from the rest of the box. This can no longer be 9 or 8, so this is 7. 7 can only be next to a 2 out of 2 or 3. This has to be a 3. These can't be 2 anymore. This can't be 4. This can't be 4 or 3, so this must be a 5, which means this cannot be blue. This is the pink, which means this can't be pink, so this must be a 3. And this can no longer be 3. This has to be a 9. This is an 8 next to, that adds up with 2 to add up to 10. This has to be a 6. This can't be 6, and it can't be 6 here. This can't be 8 anymore. So we have a 7, 8, 7, 8 pair. The remaining digits are 4, 6, and 9. What else do we have? This can no longer be 9. This can no longer be 9. This can't be 7, and this can't be 6. Okay, this can't be 9, therefore this is 8, which makes that 9. This cannot be a 7-8 pair, so it must be 6 and 9 here. So the rest of the column cannot have 6 or a 9 because of the 6-9 pair here. What else do we have? Let's see. 3 has to be one of these two cells, but that's, given. Since one of these is 3, this cannot be 7 because it's next to both of them on German whisper line. Therefore, this must be a 9, which forces this to be 6, which makes that a 9. This can no longer be 9 here. So we know one of these is a 9. That doesn't really help us much. If this is 6, this has to be 1. If this is 6, this has to be 1. So either way, 1 has to be one of these two cells, which means this cannot be 1. This can't be 9. We also have a 7-8, 7-8 pair in row 3, which eliminates 7 and 8 from the rest of the row. So this cannot be 1, 2, 3. It could be 4, 5, or 6. It can't be 7, 8, or 9, though. And this is 2, 4, 5, 6 with 3. Can't be 6 here. This can't be 6 or 9, so this must be a 4 because of this 9. So this is a low, which makes these highs. So therefore, this is a 6, which makes this a 9. So 6 cannot be in the remaining cells in row 3. What else do we have? This cannot be a 5, so this must be a 4, which makes that a low. Therefore, that makes this a 3, which makes this a 1. This can't be a 1, so this is 2, this is 4. This 2 cannot be next to a 6, so this is 8, which makes that a 6. The 8 cannot be here, because this is set, so therefore this is a 7-9 pair, which eliminates 7 and 9 from the rest of the column. So this must be 8, which makes that a 7, which makes that 8. These can't be 3 or 4. Remaining digits here are now, this has to be a 7. So the remaining digits here are 4 and 8. Remaining digits here are 3 and 7. Remaining digits here are 1, 5, and 6. But this can't be 1 or 6, so this must be a 5, which forces this to be the pink. So this cannot be pink, which makes this not high. This can't be pink, therefore this must be pink, so this is 5. This is 9, this is 5. That makes this a 4. These can't be 5 anymore. This can't be 4 or 5, so this is 7. This can't be high. The 1 can't be here because one of these has to be a 1, so this is 6, which makes that a 1. The 1 is with 7 or 9. Remaining digits, this can't be... Wait, hold up. We've got a problem here. Huh. Did I mess something up? I must have messed something up. Hold on, I need to go to the bathroom right now, so let's check later. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. We were essentially running into contradiction here, which is not good. I think we have to restart because the problem is that I don't know where I made the mistake. So let's restart with keeping the time. Okay, let's color these again. These are both high. These must be both low. These are both high. These are both high. These are both low. These must be high along with it. This must be a low. This is a low, which makes this a high. These have to be lows. This has to be a high because it's next to a low. Again, these two are the same set, so they can't both be low, so therefore these are both high, which makes this a low, which makes this a high. This has to be a 5 because that's the only digit that can be there. Again, we have one low, one high here, which forces this to be low and this to be low because we would have 4 highs. We already have 4 highs, therefore this is a high, which makes this a low, which makes this a high. One of these must be high, therefore, and these are the same set, so they both cannot be high, therefore these are both low, which is next to a high. This is also next to a high. That makes this high makes this a low, which makes this a high. You cannot have 3 highs here. Oh, I see the problem. This is not necessarily a 5. One of these is not necessarily a 5. One of these 3 is a 5. That's where I ran into the problem. Huh, I just missed that, I guess. Okay, well, these still follow. So these cannot be 3 highs in a row because that would make 5 highs in column 2. Therefore, these are both low. These 3 are lows, which forces these 2 to be highs. Therefore, this is a low and a 5. This has to be a high because it's next to a low. This has to be a low because it's next to a high. We have 1 high and 1 low here. Therefore, there are 4 highs already in box 4, which makes these a low or 5. One of these is a 5, and it has to be a high or 5. Okay, so that's where we ran into the problem, was here. And then I made that assumption, which was bad. Okay. And we started filling things in, right? These have to be both high and or 5. So again, where this has to be 8 or 9 because it's next to 3 unique digits on a German whisper line. This is next to 2 unique digits, so it's 7, 8, or 9. This is next to 2 unique digits, so it's 7, 8, or 9. Oh. Well, we have a 7, 8, and 9 triplet, which eliminates 7, 8, and 9 from the rest of the column, so therefore the last high has to be a 6, which forces this to be 1, which makes these 2, 3, or 4. So again, either this is a 4, which forces this to be 9, or one of these is a 4, which forces this to be 9. This has to be 7, 8, or 9 here. So this can never be 9, because if that were 9, then neither of these could be 9, and then the 4 would not be able to be next to any of them. Let's see. Corresponding, these are 6, 7, 8, 9. 6 cannot be next to 2 unique digits, which it is, so therefore this can't be 6, which means correspondingly, if this were 9, this would have to add up to 15. So that can't be 9. So this is 6, 7, or 8. This is next to 2 unique digits, so it can't be 6. So this is 7, 8, or 9, which forces this to be 6, 7, or 8. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is next to 2 unique digits, so therefore it cannot be 4, which means this can't be 1, because if this were 1, that would have to be a 4, and that's not possible. Similarly, this cannot be a 4, so this can't be a 1. This is next to 2 unique digits, or one of these two, or one of these two. So this has to be 1, 2, or 3, which forces this to be 2, 3, or 4. This is next to 2 unique digits, so it's also 1, 2, or 3 here. Actually, no, it's next to 3 unique digits, so this is 1 or 2. This has to be 1, 2, 3, or 4. These are 6 through 9, and this is 6 through 9. This is 6 through 9 also. This, we have a 1, 2, 3 triplet, which eliminates 1, 2, and 3 from the rest of the row. So this must be... if this is 3, this would have to be 7 here. I guess, which would force both of these to be 8 and 9. But that can't be the case. Well, actually, I guess it could be 7, 8. This would be 9. That would be 6. Okay, that is possible. We cannot have 1, 2, or 3 here, so this just becomes 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9 because you can't have 5 there. This can't be 7 because of the 7 pair here. 1 has to be one of these cells. Can this be 3? If this is 3, this forces this to be 8 and 9, but these two have to add up to 15, which is not possible, so this cannot be 3, which means this can't be 2. We have a 1, 2, 1, 2 pair in row 5, which eliminates 1 and 2 from the rest of the row. So this can't be 1 or 2. This makes that a 3. This has to add up to 5 with this, so this is 2. This can't be 2, so therefore this can't be 3, which means this can't be 7. This can't be 6 or 7 because 3 can only be next to 8 and 9 on a German whisper line. So this is 8 or 9, this is 8 or 9. This can't be 8, which means this can't be... Right. So the remaining digits now in row 5 are 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is 4, 6, or 7. Cannot be 7 because this one of these is 7. Therefore, this is 4 or 6. This has to be 4, 5, 6, or 7. This is a low with 4, 5. So this is 4 or 5. The 4 or 6 must be with 1 or 9 specifically. The rest of these digits are 1, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is 1, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And this cannot be 5. Where, again, is the 9 in row 6? It cannot be any of these. Can't be here because of an 8 and 9 pair. Can't be these because, again, if this were 9, this would have to be 6, and that would be in between 2 unique digits, which is not allowed. So it has to be one of these 2. Since one of these 2 is a 9, this cannot be 9, which forces this to be 1, which makes this a 6. This 1 means this has to be 2, which forces this to be 7. That means this has to be 1, and this is a 4 to add up with the 1. This must be a 3. The 7 and the 8 add up to 15. So this has to be 9, and this has to be 6, which means this can't be 6. This can't be 1, 2, or 3, so that forces this to be 4, which means 9 has to be next to it, so this can't be 9. What's the remaining digit in row 6? It has to be 8. So this is 8, which makes that a 7. This 9 means this is an 8, so neither of these could be 4. This can't be 8. This 6 means this can't be 6, 9, so it's a 7, 8 pair. So 7 cannot be here. Where is the 7 in box 7? It has to be here, which makes this a 2, which makes that a 3. This has to be a 4 now. This has to be a 5, 9 pair. The remaining digit here is a 2. This is a low. This has to be a high. So this cannot be 6 or 7. This can't be 8. So this is 9, which makes that an 8. So therefore, this cannot be a 7, 8 pair. It's a 6, 9 pair. We have a 1, 7 pair here, which eliminates 1 and 7 from the rest of the box. So this is 4, 5, or 6. This can't be 1, so this must be 2. This has to be... This can't be 4. So this has to be 5 or 6, which forces this to be a 3 because of the 5, 6 pair, which means this cannot be a 5. So this has to be a 5, which makes that 5. This is 4. This is a low. Remaining digits here are 6 and 8. This is 6 and 8. What can be next to 7 and 8? It can only be 1 or 2. And this can't be 1 because of that 1. So this must be a 2. Remaining digits here are... this has to be a high. Cannot be 6, so it's 7, 8, or 9 here. This is 7, 8, or 9. This is 7, 8, or 9. This is next to 3 unique digits on a German whisper line, so this is 1 or 2. This is 2, 3, or 4. These are 1, 3, and 4, but 4 cannot be next to 2 unique digits on a German whisper line, so this is 1 or 3. This has to be a 1, because that's the only possibility next to a 7 besides a 2, and the 2 is taken. So these have to be a 3, 5 pair, and this is a 4, 6, 9 for what's left over. The remaining digits here are 3 and 5 and 3 and 5. So this is a low or a middle. This is a low or a middle. This is next to at least 1 and 3. So therefore, this cannot be... It has to be next to, well, 1 and or okay, so 3 at least. So therefore, this is at least 8. And it can't be 8. So therefore, this is a 9, which makes this a 6, which makes that a 9. This can no longer be 9. And this can't be 9. And this can't be 6 or 9. So this is 4, which makes this a low. That makes this a high and this a high. And that makes this 6 specifically. And this is a 9. Remaining digits in the row have to be 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this can't be 2 or 3. So this could be 4 or 5. This is 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is low or middle. This can't be 4 because of the 4. Where is 1, again, in column 7? Cannot be any of these because 1 has to be here. Can't be any of these because they're filled out, so this must be a 1. The remaining digits now are 4, 5, and 7 in column 7. So this can't be 4, this can't be 7. So this is low or middle. And we don't know what this is. So we have a 1, 3, 4, 5 quadruple in box 2, which eliminates 1, 3, 4, 5 from the rest of the box. So this must be a high and a 6, 7, or 8. Cannot be 8 because this is 8. So this is 6 or 7. Remaining digits here have to be 4 with 6, 7, or 8. So this cannot be 4. This can't be 4. Where's the 4 in row 1? It has to be here. So this is a 4, which makes that a low. This has to be a high. These are low or 5. One of these, this can't be 6. So this is 7 or 8. We have a 7 or 8 here and a 2, 3, or 5. It can't be 2. It's 3 or 5. So this is 3, 5. Cannot be 1. Okay, well, where is the 1 in box 2? It can only be here. So this is 1, which means this can't be 1. So this is 2, which means this can't be 6. That forces this to be 8, which makes that a 6, which makes that 7. This 8 means this can't be 8, and this can't be 8. This 7 means this has to be an 8, which forces this to be 7, which forces this to be 8. This 7 makes that an 8. Whoops. I don't know how I did that. This is an 8. This is a 7. This 7 makes that an 8. This is a pink. This is pink and high. We don't know about this. This can't be 2, so this is 3 or 4. 1 cannot be here. 1 can't be here, so where's the 1 in box 8? It has to be here. So this is a 1, and it's low. This is 5 or 6. The 1 can be with 6, 7, 8, or 9, but no 8 because of that 8. So this must be 1, 6, 7, 9. This can't be 9. This has to be 3, 4, 5, or 6, but cannot be 6. Therefore, this is a low or middle. Whereas a 6 in box 8, it has to be here. So this is 6, which means it cannot be middle. Therefore, this has to be a middle. Which means that's pink. So this can't be pink. There, and this must be a low. So this is 5, which forces this to be 4, which makes that a 7. So this has to be high. That makes this a 9, which makes that a 7. But this can no longer be 9, so this is 5, which cannot be high. It's pink, which means this can't be pink. This can't be pink. Where's the only pink left in box 8? It has to be here, which makes this 5. This can't be 5, so this must be 3, which means this can't be pink, which forces this to be 4. And this can't be blue anymore, so this is pink. This is 5, which means none of these can be pink. They're both low. This can't be 3 anymore, so this is 5, which means that's the pink, which means this can't be pink, and it has to, or this cannot be pink, and it has to be 3. Remaining digits here are 5 and 8. Wait, 5 and 8? How did I mess up again? Oh, because this can't be, I don't even... Okay, this is 8, which forces this to be 7, which forces that to be 8. I don't know how I did that. This is 5 or 7. Anyways. Making too many mistakes. This has to be a 9. Remaining digits here are 1 and 9, and this can't be 9, so this must be a 9, which makes that a high. This has to be a 1, which is a low. That makes this 7, which makes that a 1. So these are both low. This can't be 5, so it's a 3-4 pair, which means the remaining digits are 2 and 8. This can't be 8, so this is 2, which makes that an 8. So this is low, this is high. I want to finish coloring. This is 3, that's a 2. This can't be 7, so this is 5, which makes that a 7. This can't be pink anymore, this can't be red. This is a high. This is a pink. This is a high. So the remaining digit here has to be high, and the remaining digit here is a low. This 4 means this can't be 4, so this is a 3, which makes that 4. This is a 3. This has to be 6 then. This has to be 6, and this is a 5. Too many mistakes. Apologies for that. I just totally didn't see this cell here, which led me down a bad path. Fortunately, that I found that error eventually, and then I made another error here, which was, I don't know. Sometimes you just enter wrong numbers. Anyways. I hope you had a much better time of it solving this puzzle. This should have taken probably about 20-30 minutes, but I made too many errors for that. Anyways, I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.